On the Great Lakes, even the biggest ships sometimes need help. When they do, they call the Raven.
People usually notice the giant freighters on the Great Lakes, but very few people ever notice the little boats helping them. That's because the most important work is usually the least noticed. Tonight, we're going to meet someone who knows that work well. His name is Captain John Mercer. He's the captain of a tugboat called the Raven. Let's hear his story.
Most people never notice us. They watch the 1,000-foot freighters glide across the horizon and assume those massive ships make the journey alone. But every captain on the Great Lakes knows better. There comes a time when even the biggest vessel needs a helping hand. A crosswind catches her in a narrow harbour, heavy weather makes steering unpredictable, or an emergency leaves no room for mistakes. That's when they call a tugboat. My name is John Mercer, and for many years I've had the privilege of serving as captain of the Raven. People often look at her and ask how old she is. I usually smile because age isn't what makes a vessel special. Steel can be repaired, engines can be rebuilt, paint can always be replaced. What gives a boat its character are the people who dedicate their lives to caring for her. And the Raven's story began long before I ever stepped into this pilot house. She was built in 1958 at the Johansen and Raven shipyards in Sault Ste. Marie. My grandfather, Sig Mercer, had her custom built for his towing company. He never changed her name. He used to say she already knew who she was. Sig believed a reputation wasn't built in a single day. It was earned one difficult job at a time. He wasn't interested in fame, he wasn't interested in recognition. He simply believed that when someone asked for your help, you showed up, did the job right, and kept your word. Those values became the foundation of everything the Raven would represent. Eventually, my father, Jacques Mercer, took the wheel. He understood something that took me years to fully appreciate. He wasn't just operating a tugboat, he was protecting a family legacy. He respected what Sig had built, and he taught me that success isn't measured by applause, it's measured by responsibility. When another captain depends on you, when another crew is counting on you, you don't get a second chance. Years later, that responsibility became mine. The first time I stood alone at this wheel, I realized something. I didn't own this boat. I was simply the caretaker of a legacy. Every worn handrail, every polished brass fitting, every scratch in the deck, every deep note from this old diesel engine reminds me of the generations who stood here before me. Out here on the water, nobody cares how important you think you are. They care whether they can depend on you when everything starts going wrong. People often ask what a tugboat actually does. The simplest answer is, whatever needs to be done. Some days we're guiding giant freighters through harbors where every foot matters. Some days we're pushing, some days we're pulling. Sometimes we're holding a vessel steady against wind and current while the crew finishes their work. In the dead of winter, we're breaking ice so ships can keep moving safely. Other days, we're standing by in fog or rough weather, waiting in case another captain needs help. It's demanding work, sometimes dangerous, almost always unseen. But that's the nature of the job. If everything goes well, and most people never realize we were there. And honestly, that's perfectly fine with us. We don't do this for headlines. We don't do it for recognition. We do it because another crew is depending on us to help them get home safely. At the end of the day, that's all the reward we've ever needed. As the seasons pass, you eventually realize none of us stands at the helm forever. Every captain reaches the day when it's time to hand the wheel to someone else. For the Raven, that future belongs to my son, Royce. He's learning this life the same way I did, handling lines, watching, listening, working hard, earning the respect of the crew, because respect isn't inherited out here, it's earned. One voyage at a time, one difficult job at a time. Royce is a husband now, he's a father. Watching him reminds me of when my own father taught me, one day he'll stand where I'm standing today. And when that day comes, I hope he remembers what Sig taught Jacques, what Jacques taught me, and what I've tried to teach him, that this boat is never really ours, we're only its caretakers. Years from now, when Royce hands this wheel to the next generation, I hope he'll pass along more than a tugboat. I hope he'll pass along the values that built her: integrity, responsibility, humility, and the quiet satisfaction of doing a difficult job well, because legacies don't survive simply because steel lasts. They survive because good people choose to carry them forward, one generation at a time. When people ask me what the Raven means to me, I tell them she's more than a tugboat. She's a reminder that the greatest accomplishments in life are rarely the loudest. They're built quietly, patiently. One voyage, one family, one generation at a time.
What I learned from Captain Mercer's story is that some of the most important people are often the ones working quietly behind the scenes. I learned that being important isn't about being the biggest or the most famous. Sometimes the people who make the greatest difference are the ones who simply show up every day and do their job well. If you enjoyed today's story, please subscribe to Campfire Learning and join us around the campfire again soon. Good night, everyone.